Hello guys, Talking Circles here, and today I'll be showing you my Tri-Brigade deck, which I just hit Plat 1 with. Let's go to the deck. Okay, so I'll be playing this lineup. As you can see, the core of the deck is the Tri-Brigade monsters, and the rest is some hand traps that could disrupt your opponent plays. So it's a going first deck, so you usually want to go first and end up with an Appaloosa and a revolt set face down. Let's go to the card by card. So I play the Crow. This is a bit controversial. A lot of lists I see on the internet, nobody plays two or even one Crow at all. But I think one Crow is at least one Crow is optimal. This is my personal opinion, because you can search it off of this one and of the link 4, and you can discard it even for nothing as a target for your Tri-Brigade monsters. I think you should at least go for one. I go for two because I hate Eldlish. It's a very good counter to them. Next, I play 3 Nerval, 2 of this one. Some people play 3, I play 2. 3 of Kit, and 3 of Fractal. Okay, next I play triple Maxi and triple Ash. This one is self-evident. Ash and Maxi are staples in the current meta, and it's a very useful card. So, and of course, Ash counters the Maxi. So the strongest card is the Maxi because you can plus out of it a lot. You can +5, +6, and at the same time it deters your opponent from letting you plus. So they end up passing turn. So it's a very good card. If you time it right, you could always end up +1, at least +1. If your opponent is about to special summon a monster, you Maxi, you at least get your card back. So it's it's an upstart at least, but of course it could be a lot more, and it could deter your opponent from doing their plays. So it's a very good card. I play triple Maxi, triple Ash. It's standard. Nothing more to say here, I think. Zoo package, I play 3 zoo monsters. I play 2 of this one, 1 of this one. This one discards and let you draw. This one is just because it has 2000 defense. I never actually use its effect once during my run. You can add it up to 4 by adding. I saw some people adding this one, or you could play like this. It's your choice, I think. I think you should play the zoo package because it complements very well your Tri-Brigade package. First, some people were playing pure Tri-Brigade, but the zoo is just 3 cards, and going second, it could save you a lot of games. So triple, of course, you can search them with the tanky. So you could triple is a bit 2, for example, is a bit too low, because your desires could completely kill your zoo package. If desires banishes those 2, all of these cards that you play in your extra deck are dead. So it's a big risk. So that's why 3 at least, maybe even 4, but this is what I played. Triple Fractal. Fractal is a very good card. It's your combo starter. Very good card. You usually want to go first and have this one in your opening hand. Triple Nibiru. I was playing 1 and then I got up to 2. Nibiru is a very good card. It's your choice. Really, as you know, it counters big boards with combo decks, stuff like that. The Tri-Brigade deck is not as susceptible to Nibiru because we can either Appaloosa, or even if they Nibiru us, we still proc our effects. So this effect, this effect, this effect. They have all floating effects, and we can also set the revolt. If you have the revolt, even if they're in Nibiru West, we can still disrupt them in their turn. So we're still not as susceptible to Nibiru, but one Harpies to counter back rows. So if they have some floodgates, Harpy is very good. I was playing during my climb. I was always also playing one Twin Twisters. I saw some people playing two Twin Twisters, or some people playing Lightning Storm. The Storm, you could argue, is a better version of Feather, but not really, because you're playing tanky, so it stops you from. Sometimes this one has a condition, so it's not that clear cut. So this one is a good effect in of its own. So in of itself, so I chose this one because this is one card. It's our out to some specific decks. One, maybe we need two outs, but this one is at one is very good card. So if you have access to this one, you should consider adding it. Triple Desires, of course. Activating 3 in one duel could be devastating. You won't have any cards left in your deck, but seeing one Desires can win you the game. The +2 is insane, because our deck is constituted of a lot of hand traps, a lot of disruptions. So, and of course you could get your combo in the first place. So Desires is insane in this deck. Okay, triple tanky, very good card. It's search for our Fractal or our Zoo. So if we go second and we need to clear a very big board in your opponent's side, so we go for these three. And if you are first and we want to go into our combo, we go for Fractal. Two Called by the Grave. So this is going first deck. We hate hand traps, we hate Maxi, we hate Ash. So Called by the Grave counters those two. Of course, it could counter Eldritch as well. It could counter a lot of decks. Very good card overall. If you're going first, if you have a going first deck, Called by the Grave is a very good card, because it stops a lot of hand traps. You could even consider this card. I was experimenting with Triple Tactics, but it's not as versatile as I thought it would be, because only in the main phase. This one, if you get entrapped, you activate it and you have very good effects. Draw 2, so Pot of Greed. Take control of a monster till end phase. That's the Change of Hearts, and discard one card. You look and discard. So it's a very good card, but I put even 2 copies. I experimented with it. It didn't. The problem is during your main phase. Hand traps can be activated in any time, so that's the problem. I didn't activate it. I didn't end up activating it that much, so I chose to cut it. But it could be a very good tech. As I said, triple tanky to Droplet. Droplet is very good because if your opponent has an insane board with tons of negates and restrictions, if you forbidden Droplet and you send the right monster spell, for example, you send one monster and one spell, or one monster, one trap, stuff like that, for one turn you could play Yu-Gi-Oh! So you won't have the tons of disruptions your opponent have. And also the cutting in half could be very useful if you activate it in the damage step, so they don't suspect anything, because battle traps are not as popular. So you can divide by half and kill their monsters. That's a very good effect. And also, because we're playing Elmirage, Salamangreat Elmirage, and we're playing tanky, you could send these two for free. So if you activate, so you usually end up going for Elmirage in order to have you to begin your plays, but Elmirage sits there doing nothing. But if you can send it for free to activate the Droplet. And also the tanky once you activate it, it sits there doing nothing. But you could send it for free to activate the droplet. So you could even go for 3 droplet, I think, because it has a good synergy with the deck. And also you can send any of your cards with floating effects. So your Tri-Brigade card with floating effects. So you could send the Nerval or the Kit. So you could get a plus of, not a plus, but at least it would be neutral. You won't lose in card advantage playing this. So it's a very good card. Triple Impermanence. I was experimenting with two, but I ended up with 3 because this is a very good card. Undeniably good card, because it could be activated. It's useful. The thing is, it's useful going first or second. If you go first, you can set it. The effect is nice, and the added effects, you don't proc it that much, but it's nice also. And the going second to disrupt your opponent is very good. So this is basically a hand trap. That's very good. And then lastly, Revolt. So Revolt, I experimented with 3, but ended up with 2. Very good card overall. What can I say? 2, you risk desiring the Pod of Desires, the other one, or the 2. That's very sad, but it's a very rare scenario. Very good card. We have mainly 2 targets. Of course, you can use it for others, but you have mainly for the Link 4. 2, at least 2 is perfect. 3, I don't know, maybe. Okay, so for the extra deck, I play this Zoo lineup. My first remark is you can cut this one because the Zoo lineup is to summon Zeus, and Zeus needs either 2 or 4 materials. These are 3 plus 1, that's 4. So this one has the double Zeus. But if we play with this card, we have another wicked Zeus using, for example, these 4, but we still have the Dryden for something else. That's the difference. If you cut this one, add this one, the Link 2. I'll talk about it a bit. This is another possibility, but anyways. Okay, I play this. 1 Zeus, insane. 1 Dryden, very good card. Okay, that's the Zoo package. Almirage, you need it to start your plays. Then this one, you summon it using this one or this one, for example, to start your plays. If you don't have the fractal. One of this one, we cheat its summon by the Tri-Brigade cards. It's a very good card because it could send itself to bounce a card, so it could use itself as a cost to bounce a card. So a quick effect bounce guaranteed, or you can even send the Tanky or the Almirage. So that's a very good. You don't summon it that much, but when you summon it, it has a very good effect. One Link 2, I play these 2. This one, the extender, so you can special summon one Tri-Brigade from your hand. This one is to Surge Revolt. I don't use his other effect unless you have 10 cards in your hand with Maxi, but usually you don't use his first effect. This one, the Link 3, you should keep in mind his first effect to add a Garnet back to your opponent deck. Another Link 3, his first effect could also be useful. Keep in mind. 1 Appaloosa. This is the one of the main reasons we play this deck, to end our first turn on Appaloosa and setting Revolt. So this is mandatory. Access Code Talker for OTKs and popping cards, and finally 2 Link 4s. This is a very good card. This is the Crow. One of the reasons we play the Crow is because of this effect. You can add a Crow. So, or if this one is linked, if someone goes sent to the grave, you can add one beast warrior, winged beast monster. So we can add a Crow, or of course any of our monsters. So that's the deck. It's very good. I just hit Plat 1 with relatively good win rate. I don't know the exact win rate, but it was fairly smooth, fairly easy. Of course, you should know how to play the deck very well in order to achieve that, but it's somewhat easy to play because your first turns are somewhat the same. Of course, you should adapt from time to time, but it's mainly the same theme. You want to end up on either this one or Revolt, or if you don't have the 4 monsters, you end on this one plus Revolt, and you have tons of these cards, these hand traps, to disrupt your opponent. So that's mainly your win condition. You disrupt your opponent and you summon some negates or some disruptions. It's basically a disruption deck. And if you go second, you Zeus. That's basically the deck. So I'll show you a few replays. So I just got the Plat 1, and things to mention also, I got Plat 1 also in the second season. I ended up Plat 2, but I didn't know that you can demote, and now you can't. I think with the new version, new patch. This season you can demote if you get Plat 1, but last season I did get Plat 1, but I demoted. So it's a very good deck from some time now. I'll show you some replays, and I'll comment. I'll talk to you. I talk to you through my thought process while we're showing the replays. Okay, I'll pause for a second. Okay, so we going second. So we lost the coin toss because we usually 100% go first. We choose to go first. So we're going second. If you go second, you want maximum of hand traps. You have 2 here. So let's see. Special summoning a monster. So that's what I meant earlier. So this is guaranteed to at least +1. I mean, to recycle itself. So I go Maxi, and this also deters them from extending, from playing further. If they special summon a monster, I draw a card. Then what are they going to do? If they continue, I draw more cards, and I'm second. So it's a very, very, very good card to play here. So I Maxi. And of course I get ashed. That's fine. Here I impermanence because this searches for cards, this extends their plays. This at least I lose a card, but he loses a card in some way. So I impermanence this. I'm playing his matchup, not knowing. I'm not an expert in their deck, what it does, what's the best time to Maxi, what's the best time to impermanence. I'm playing this out very conservatively. So I don't know what I just read. Adds a card, I negate. So you don't need to research their deck extensively to learn what they do. Okay, so this is the Tri-Brigade monster. So he sends a winged beast and he summons it. But the problem with what he did is he will never search for revolt, because even if this into this, you won't have another card to return to the deck in order to search revolt. So his play is a bit questionable here. I don't know what he should have played, but now he's very vulnerable, because whatever the monsters he will summon now, if I get rid of it, I'll be fine. So let's see what he did. He goes for Appaloosa. Okay. So here he's a bit vulnerable, as I said. If I get rid of the Appaloosa, I win. He has nothing. He used all his cards and has 4 cards here. Okay. So here 2 choices. No, I think I have 2 choices. I have no choices here. I need to get rid of the Appaloosa. 2 choices. I meant I could impermanence the Appaloosa first. But I thought if I Zeus, my other play was up was infinite, negate this one, go for Trident, destroy this one, and then continue the climb for Zeus. But I thought, why even do that? I thought I just go for Zeus, and just wait for him to do. I don't need to do anything. That's what I did. So I climb. Of course, the Zoo play is to go for this one. This one attacks directly, and then go for Zeus, and climb and overlay some Xyz, and then go for Zeus. So that's what I did. Go for this one, attack, and of course that's why we play another. That's why we play this one. So we keep the Zeus. We save the Trident. So we don't need to overlay for this. We just overlay for this into Zeus. We don't need to go for everything here. We'll keep the Trident for next turns or whatever. So you overlay some stuff into this, into Zeus. In defense, this is very common now because you want to avoid the lightning storm. That's basically it, and to take damage. So that's why you go in defense here. Here I could have chained the Zeus. I don't know the ruling exactly if doing the Zeus, if this is sent to the grave, if he adds or not, because if he does add, I'm fucked. So that's why I chose to wait. If I knew the ruling, for example, if I knew if I Zeus double Zeus here, this is wiped, I would have done it right there. This is a cleaner version of what I did, but we'll see. So he does his usual Tri-Brigade stuff. Now, after he normal summons exactly, having toggle on, I right away go for Zeus. I don't need him to do for his plays. I don't know what he does. This is the perfect moment to Zeus. Okay. He will negate. We'll see. This is once per chain, so he negates the first activation, but I have two other materials, so I could chain the Zeus. Okay, and that's it. Because the Appaloosa doesn't destroy. And they win. Nice game. Let's see. See another one. No, I don't want to confirm anything. Oh, okay. Just spoiled it. Let's see. Again, going second. Okay, going second again. We lost our coin toss again. But still I have 2 negates. Not bad. Okay, so this is basically a better version of skill drain. Because neither player can activate monster effect unless the number of monsters. So I can't activate any monster effect. So that's a very annoying card. So this is my turn. So here my plan is, because I have the Zoodiac, I can go into Zeus. But Zeus will get negated. So since I have these two, I will spam these two until this one is negated. So let's see. Before anything, though, this is my first thing I do. Okay, I am permanence. He negates. I'll second impermanence. Okay, so here I go for the typical Zeus play to wipe out everything. But he plays this one, Crackdown. Take control. So he will take this one. Okay. So here I have no choice but to go for this one, this Tri-Brigade monster. So into Nerval, into Fractal. we banish these two, go for our extender. Our link 2 that lets us special summon monsters. He just so he will destroy it. Okay. Activate. I drew a very good card here. Thank God. Okay, so this is typical. So I go into one thing to consider is that you can, on your way into Zeus, you can use Dryden to pop a card. That's a very thing to keep in mind. A very good thing to keep in mind. That's what I will do. Pop this card and go into Zeus. Okay, he surrenders. Okay. Let's see this one. Okay, so once we get first, we have some monsters. That's good. We have a crow and a Nibiru. We don't want Nibiru in our opening hand, but we get a lot of monsters, so that's good, I think. This is the play if you don't have the fractal. So you go for this one. You go for Almirage, Elmangate Almirage, in order to play at least a bit. We send the searcher. We search for this one because we used our normal summon, so this is a bit forced. This one we usually discard these ones because if we special summon the Link 2, we want to special summon a Tri-Brigade monster in order to continue our plays. So this one is useless in the hand. It's useful if you can play it, is put it in the field, but in the hand that's why we discard it. You should be careful about arrows a bit. So for example, if I put this one here, this is very bad, so keep in mind the arrows a bit. Okay, so I special this one and this one, and for now he doesn't have any targets, but I will send some cards in the grave, and this one, of course, in order to search for the revolt. We activate this one, why not? Ooh, we get desires, very good. We send back the Nibiru because we don't know what he plays. He didn't do anything. So Nibiru is a going first card, it's not going second card, so we keep this one. It's a hand trap, at least it could be useful. We desires. We play this card because why not? He didn't ash us. He can ash it now, whatever. So we thin our deck, we play some cards. One of these is going back to the deck, so it doesn't matter. We summon this one. This is just another monster. We don't care about its effect. If we had another Link 2, we could have gone into I keep this one. I could have summoned this one, but I usually keep this one for some specific situations. I could have summoned this one, but I usually keep it too. I just summon this one and go for our Appaloosa and search for the revolt. That's an okay first turn. We ended up with a disruption, a non-targeted banish because we'll summon this one. 3 monster negate, once per chain, no destruction. Okay, and this protects the Appaloosa from destruction. Okay, nice. Not insane, but still good. And also this will refill our hand. This will refill our hand in the next turn, so it's not even a minus. Okay, he does his plays. Okay. He chain blocks, so we can't negate. We just negate the last one because it will get negated anyways. The Appaloosa will get negated by this one. So we just use it once at least. I don't know what he's doing, but super poly, is he super polying our monster? No. Super polying his monsters. Okay. Construct. He's banishing some cards, but we don't care about that. Because the revolt can bring them back to the grave. Why not chain this effect? Because this one will destroy. Yeah, that's very smart. Because this one will destroy this one before in the start of the damage step. So if we chain this one, he will have to swing into this one. So we at least kill an attack. Of course, here we should think about the revolt, playing the revolt. Here the problem is the arrows, so we don't have any arrows here. So that's the problem. I think we could special summon them, but we don't have the arrows to special summon an extra deck monster. So that's why I think we couldn't activate it now. And also the second thing is we want to banish this one and kill this one by battle. Why is that? Because as I read, this one is a search. If this one is killed, it search any cards. But if this one is destroyed, killed, it search for a spell card in the grave. But we could chain Didicrow. So we should banish this one and destroy this one. Okay. So his effect is useless now. He could only kill it by battle. So that's what he does. And here we play the revolt because first we don't want to take any damage, any unnecessary damage, and second because, as I said, we want to banish this one and destroy this one. Something to keep in mind is when you revolt, you should always go for I can't even speak. You should always go for this monster because you can use it to chain block, and you should always go for this one. And first of all, you should always go for your banished pile because if you bring these banished monsters back, they will go back to the grave, so you can use your Tri-Brigade monsters later on. But you should always go for this one, the kit, and the Nerval, this one. Because this one searches and this one dumps from the deck to the graves. From the grave. So these are very good monsters to add. And this one also you should think about special summoning as a chain block. So if you have nothing else to do, you should special summon this one. I just special summon some monsters and I chain my cards correctly. So this first, think of it by order of importance. So this is the most important. This is the banish. This is to add another revolt from the deck. So this is very important. We want to add another card first to send it back to the deck with this effect. So this one is very important. And lastly, this one. So for example, if he ashes here, he could only ash this one, or negate or anything. This first, we send this one. This is the least important card in the deck. We usually end up sending it if we already send the monsters that float that have an effect when sent to the grave. We send this one because we don't want it to draw this one. We will be returning another card, probably the kit, because Fractal is the best Tri-Brigade monster. You usually want it in your hand. Okay, set one pass. Okay. So here we have two options. Either go for 4 Either go for 4, this one, banish this one, for example. Or go for 3. That's what I did. Go for 3. 3 is this one. We activate this one's effect, banish this, and then go for 4 with access code talker. Kill this and OTK our opponent. But he disrupts a bit, so he will summon a Shadow Fusion. Okay, and then he will send one of our monsters to the grave. So here I changed the Maxi because I don't have. He has only one card, so he won't be comboing. He won't use a combo or anything. But Maxi is sitting in my hand, doing nothing. So why not use it? At least I'll draw a card. That's what I thought. So I Maxi here. Let's see what he goes for. Another Upcolon, okay. He sends with his cards, and Upcolon can negate one effect. Okay, he negates this one. Okay. I think he should have negated this one. No, I already used this effect, so he will negate. I can chain this one in order to add, but he doesn't have any garnet or something like that I want to add to his hand, so I just pass. I just let him negate. We add another card with the link 4 effect, and here we link for access code talker, and the access code talker could pop all his cards. Here, of course, I could have thought of desires first, but of course, as we said, we DG Crow so he doesn't add anything to his hand. This has a floating effect, so my thought process was, if I desires now, if I get Ash, I have Ash left in my deck. If I get Ash, I could negate its effect. So that's my thought process. Why I desires now, and I get the Ash. So now I have another revolt for another link 4 for next turn, so I'm in a very good spot here. I should have maybe said this one in my phase 2, but doesn't matter. Nibiru is a bit useless here. Okay, so here I could banish. I could right after his effect is activated, or even after it's activated, I could revolt. But my thought process, I usually keep the revolt to the last possible moment. And the thing is, with this one, if he's banished, he could recycle itself if this one is in the grave. He doesn't have another copy in the grave, but still, if he can manage to send the grave, he could recycle itself. So I know the invoker monsters, the fusion monsters, they have nothing crazy of an effect, so I thought I'll let him do his thing. I will revolt in the last possible moment. Okay, and what he goes for this one. This one can pop a monster. Okay, so he popped the access code talker and he recycles the Alistair. I think he thinks he has game now because 4,800 plus 1,000 from the Alistair, that's game, but I have this one. So I activate this one in the battle step. You can't activate it in the damage step. You can activate it either in the start of the battle phase, or after he's attacked, or in the battle step. So I activate the battle step to banish this one. I go for this one because this one could, if it's sent to the grave, it adds a card. So that's a +1 right away. So it's a very good card to special summon out of Revolt. And the other, the usual suspects, these two, Kit and Nerval, and another generic one. And I go for the banished first. As I said, I prioritize the banished monster. And I chain block here. Here, this one, so they can use only one effect per turn. But you can activate the two effects, the two separate effects in the same turn, and I just win. Okay, I think that's was the third duel. Yes, that was the third duel. Okay, so I'll stop here. If you enjoyed this video, tell me in the comments or write me if you have any questions. I will answer them. My Blue Eyes deck, the other video, I couldn't get very far using the Blue Eyes deck. I tried very hard. I like Blue Eyes, but still I couldn't. So this is the deck one more time. I couldn't get past Plat 4. I think now I'm Plat 4, but it's very hard. This one is very easy if you know the basic combos. The basic combo going first is Nerval into Kit into Nerval. I thought Fractal into Kit into Nerval, and then depending on the situations, either you add this one or you add Kit, for example. Those are the main options. And if you search tanky 90% of the time, if you going first, you search for a fractal. Going second, you can search for Zoo. With desires, you should think a bit about if your opponent Ash. If you going first, for example, you have desire and fractal. You have desires and fractal. You should think a bit about your combo. Think of if he ashes my desires, or if I want him to ash my desires, or I want him to ash my fractal. And the other thing to think about is if desires hits a lot of monsters. So I usually tend to, for example, if I have these two, I usually tend to fractal into Kate, for example, into Nerval, and then I add, for example, this one, Geras, I think, and then I desires, because I set up my grave for at least doing something. I don't want desires to hit all my monsters, so at least I will have some monsters in the grave. So that's my thought process. So anyways, that's the deck.